Hello YouTube, this is Rascal Ryan 521 here, and today I am here to talk about my thoughts on the Walking Dead mid-season finale episode for Season 4, titled Too Far Gone. And first I'm going to kind of explain the episode, what happens, and everything, spoilers and all, so, be warned. And after that, I guess we'll just, after that, I'm kind of going to talk about my thoughts and what's going to happen next. I haven't read the comics, I decided to give the first one a try, so I've read part of the first one. I don't think I'm going to start reading them, only because I have too much stuff going on right now, and overall I'm just not really a comic book person, so they haven't really got me hooked yet, but I mean, I might, so I don't really know any spoilers about what's going to happen in the future. I have predictions, though. So, yeah, we just need to get started. So, if you've seen the past few episodes, you know that the governor has kind of been, ever since he got abandoned by Martinez. That's one of the two guys that he didn't kill, in that huge massacre of all the Woodbury soldiers. And remember that he was, he met up with this family, and he met up with this one family, kind of started bonding with this little girl because it reminded him of his daughter. And then when he met up with Martinez and his new group, that he kind of became leader of, the governor killed Martinez, and then, to take leadership over the group. And then he noticed that the prison was near their campsite, so in this episode, he starts off, he's saying, how they completely destroyed Woodbury, about how Michonne killed his daughter and everything, and how he wants revenge. And he even captures Michonne and Herschel in the process, and he keeps them captive in his RV, and he's talking to them a little bit, and he's like, I don't want anybody to be hurt, I don't want anybody to get hurt, but I want the prison, I have people I need to protect, I don't want anything to happen, I just want the prison. And, Herschel's trying to reason with him, and Michonne's kind of, losing it, saying, I want to slice your head off and stuff like that, and, Herschel's going to, that's not really going to help our case or anything, that's just going to more likely get us killed, but yeah, basically what happens is they show up at the prison, and back at the prison you find out that Rick's finally telling Daryl about how he kicked Carol out of the group, for setting those bodies on fire, for the infected people. Because remember, one of them was Tyrese's girlfriend. I can't think of her name. Karen, was that her name? I think so. And he wanted to kill the person that burned her body. And, he's just about to get around, him and Daryl are just about to get around to telling Tyrese about how they sent Carol away, when they hear this big explosion, and they find out the governor and all these new men that he's recruited from Martinez's, all these men he recruited from the little camp that he was leading. They're all there. They got a tank, they got a couple, heavily armored vehicles, some pickup trucks, and just, some tough vehicles and trucks, and he kind of explains it to Rick, like I just explained to you, they don't really, he's trying to tell him, we don't want anybody to get hurt, we just want the prison. And you can see my arm moving in the reflection of the tape, if you look in the left corner. But anyway, and then Rick's like, we're not giving the prison up. The governor's trying to reason, we'll give you till sundown to get all your things and get out. And then Rick's like, well, we don't want to give up the prison. He's like, oh, really? And, Rick's like, well, we need to decide, the council needs to decide. He's like, well, is Herschel on the council, and what about Michonne? And they both come out of the truck, and, Rick finds out, he's like, please just let them go. There's a way we can work all this out. And literally, the governor has a sword up to Michonne's, katana. I think that's the sword she carries around, that Japanese, samurai sword. I only know the name of it because I watched Deadliest Warrior. But basically, Rick's, when he has her sword up to what's his face, Herschel's neck, basically, Rick's in the middle of explaining, we can work this out. We can all live together. We can live in different cell blocks. Everything can be, just fine. Just don't hurt. We don't have to do any killing. And spoiler alert, probably the saddest thing about this episode was the governor's looking at him, and you could even see the little smirk on or the little smile on Herschel's face, knowing he was gonna die. And basically the governor just whispers, "Liar," and then he slices his neck, and that's pretty much the end of Herschel. And that's when Rick fires the first shot at the governor. I think one of the governor's men gets Rick's leg, and I think Rick shoots a bullet in the governor's arm or somewhere on him. But basically, a whole bunch of brawling ensues. All the fighting. Beth and Maggie, of course, are really, really mad about the death of their dad, Herschel. And even Herschel's still, while the battle's going on, Herschel's trying to crawl away. He knows he's going to die of blood loss, but he's just trying to, crawl away. And the governor, literally comes up and he slashes his neck a bunch of times in a row. But basically what happens there, what happens kind of around the scene is you also see, oh yeah, by the way, the governor even whispers to his mates, move the tanks in, kill them all, because he wants everybody at the prison dead. He's completely abandoned the idea of not hurting anybody. And basically you go back at the camp where they were staying at originally, and that little girl the governor's bonded with is kind of playing in the dirt and everything, but basically Walker comes out of the ground and attacks her, and ends up biting her. So when all the battle's going on, a couple minutes later you see the woman, the girl's mom, walk up with the girl's dead body in her hands, and you think that would stun the governor. You think that would make him, you think that would just make him have a complete meltdown. But no, he just takes the body, boom, he shoots it right in the head, to keep her from reanimating into a zombie. Or a walker. But, you can just you can just tell now, the governor, and you could still tell he had a little bit of, human, a little bit of good side left in him, but it's gone now. It really is. And then basically all the battles going on, some spoilers about deaths. Not much really happens. Daryl almost gets attacked by a walker, but he ends up putting an arrow in its back and using it as a human shield. But basically, yeah, a lot of fighting's going on. Those two girls that Carol was supposed to be watching over get out guns, and they're helping defend the prison. And then you see Beth. She's trying to get people into the buses to evacuate. And basically, all the fighting's going on. The governor and Rick are kind of punching and kicking, weaponless fighting on the ground, rolling around and stuff. And basically, the governor, the big moment of this episode, the governor's got Rick by the neck. He's about to choke him to death, and Michonne comes up right behind him, stabs him right in the back, and she just leaves him there to die. Until that woman that the governor said he was in love with, the mother of the daughter that the governor was bonding with, she ends up coming and shooting him in the head at the end of the battle. But then basically everything's, in complete chaos. Everybody's abandoned the prison. The governor and Herschel, for some reason I can't remember his name. The governor and Herschel are both dead. And Rick's, after all the battles happen, and it's actually really one of the cooler parts of the episode is Daryl's running around in the middle of the battle. He takes a grenade, he throws it down the tube of the gun part, or the huge cannon part of the tank, and blows the whole gun part up. It was really cool though. But basically what happens is everybody, I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, everybody made it out alive. I don't know about the Woodbury survivors that went with him. I don't know if any of them made it onto the buses or not. But basically, Rick's looking around for Carl. He sees a couple zombies he's about to get attacked by, and Carl, you see some gunshots shoot them from behind. And then you see Carl appear, and you know that, Carl's alive now. And then you see Carl, and then Rick and Carl are reunited, but then they're looking around for Judith. And then they see her little case, or what do you call it, the little baby carrier. They go over to it, and they find that there's blood in there. and I think it was heavily implied that she died, because I know she's dead in the comics. For as far as I know, she died in the comics, but I think in the comics, Laurie was still alive at this point, and from what, because I kind of read up about this stuff, and I think what happened was Laurie was, you know, trying to run and evacuate during the battle, but she got shot or something, and fell on the ground and, like, crushed Judith and something, and they both died, from what I remember, reading about, but, yeah, so they don't really know if she's dead. Rick and Carl are both having a complete breakdown, just like Rick did when, you know, when, he found out that Laurie was dead. And yeah, and the last scene, it shows them both escaping the prison, you know, like walking out in the fields. Oh yeah, and another thing, the governor and his men both knocked down all the gates and everything, to the prison. So, you know, the thing, I mean, all the gates, you know, everything they were working so hard, you know, all the zombies they were trying to keep out, you know, they all got in. They knocked down the gates with the tank. And basically what happens is you see them walking away, and Rick's just whispering to Carl, you know, don't look back, and then the camera pans over to the prison. You see everything, it's completely on fire. Walkers are surrounding all the buildings, and the prison's completely abandoned. It's useless now. I mean, walkers got in, they got in the fences. You're pretty much trapped. Even if you were to still live there and keep them out, you'd be trapped inside. There's no way you could go out, unless you could kill all the zombies and rebuild some fences before any more got in, but I can't see how you do that. But that's where the episode leaves off, and I know I've been talking a while, so let me just give you some thoughts quickly. I'm really sad Herschel died. Honestly, the governor used to be one of my favorite characters, in a strange way, because, you know, I always thought, you know, this guy's got layers to him, you know, and I think there's a lot of character development, you know, that they can do with him, and I really liked how they showed that he's not a complete bad guy, but he is still evil enough to be a villain. But ever since, when he just sliced Herschel's head off, ever since then, I wanted the governor dead. I really did. I hated him since then, because I wanted them to keep him alive, you know, to develop his character a little bit more. But yeah, ever since that, I was like, okay, yeah, kill him off, Walking Dead. Let the life cycle take its course, you know. And then, and actually, I was laughing when, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to laugh a little bit, and I think I was when that woman brought up the dead little girl, because, I mean, that was a huge blow to the governor, or at least I thought it was, until I saw him shoot it in the head. That's when I know, okay, you know, this guy has just abandoned all his mortality, he's just completely evil now. So, yeah. And I don't think Judith is dead. I mean, like I said, she's dead in the comics, but I do think somebody picked her up. And really quickly, I have a feeling that I don't know what's going to happen with Carol ever since Rick sent her away. But I don't think she's gone forever. I do think they're going to find a way to, like, bring her back or something. Like, I don't know how, but I mean, I think they're going to, like, find a way to, like, she's going to rejoin the group, or they're going to find her, like they did Sophia, as a zombie trapped somewhere. I don't know. But, yeah. I mean, because she's a pretty important character. They better not kill off Daryl. You know, Daryl's a fan favorite. I don't think they'd be dumb enough to kill him off. So, yeah, I think that's all I really have to talk about. And then I'm glad that Michonne finally got peace with the governor, you know, by stabbing him, by giving him, you know, his last final, you know, by giving him the death he deserved. Well, actually, his girlfriend gave him his death. But Michonne left him there to die, but she still was the main reason that he died, because, yeah, she kind of made him, you know, weak, and, you know, there's no way he could have kept on fighting after that wound. I mean, he knew he was going to die anyway. That woman just kind of made his death quicker, which, she shot him in the head. I would have liked to see Zombie Governor come back in the future. That's another thing. A thing I always hope for in The Walking Dead is I wish they would, like, do this more often, where they bring back old characters that have died in past episodes. Like Dale or something. Well, they couldn't do Dale because Dale got shot in the head. But, you know, like, they run into him in a zombie form or something. Or they just go back to previous locations. Like, they go back to their original Atlanta camping spot and just find out it's overrun by zombies. Or they go back to the barn in one episode and they find out that the entire building's completely collapsed and there's walkers everywhere. They even see walkers of Herschel's dead children. You know, and all the people that died on the barn. I mean, I know it's sad. I mean, I know it's kind of dark, but if they would have done something, you know, kind of nostalgic like that, that would have been kind of interesting. Because I like seeing stuff like that. Or if they would have been wandering the woods one day and they found out it was the same woods where Shane died, and they find Shane's corpse sitting there. But, yeah. So yeah, let me know if you guys saw the episode. Let me know your thoughts. I know, sorry, long video, but I had a lot to talk about, as this is my favorite TV show. But yeah, comment, rate, subscribe, and, see you later, guys. I'm reaching my 100th video, by the way, soon, so let me know what you wanna, like, I'm 2 videos away after this gets uploaded, so let me know what you wanna see, okay? Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.